Once again, I'm going to shuffle the deck of just the major arcanas so that we can choose one of these to indicate to us which is the path where we're going to walk along this month on the Tree of Life. Which major arcana wants to lead us along their path and give us insight into what's going on for us at the moment. I'm going to need to choose the cards energetically as I can't seem to get them to jump out of the deck just yet. So let's do this and see which one speaks to us, which one has a message for us. This one, the Empress. So the Empress is the third major arcana card. It has the number 3. She is she is associated with the path 14 on the Tree of Life, which is right up there at the top between Binah, understanding, on the left-hand side, the black one, and Chokmah, the grey one, which is wisdom, on the pillar of mercy. Binah is known as understanding, fleshing out an idea, formulating the story, fashioning the structure. Virtue is its silence, and its vice is avarice. It has the power to create and is called the gate of form. It represents the Divine Mother and the Divine Feminine. At its deepest level, Binah helps awaken a vision and understanding for the processes of birth and death. And its strengths are patience, silence, faithfulness, nurturing, discipline, and strength of will. While its weaknesses can be impatience, greed, fear of the future, martyrdom, or lack of confidentiality. The other Sephirah joined by the Empress is, of course, Chokmah, which is the grey one on the top of the Pillar of Mercy, and it is called insight as well as wisdom. Chokmah has the seed of an idea, insight, inspiration, intuition, innate awareness. It also represents the father and the divine masculine. Its virtue is devotion, and it is the source of intuition. It has the power to attract and is called the gate of force. Greater personal initiative, a source of energy that puts things in motion, father type information, and realization of one's abilities are all found within the Sephirah. At its deepest level, it awakens a vision of the divine face to face. As we can see, Chokmah is the second Sephirah, so we come from the huge energy that's unformed in Keter, the crown, and it's first concentrated in Chokmah, wisdom, but it still hasn't found any form. And from Chokmah, it moves along path 14 to Binah, understanding, which is where it consolidates to start to form new life. The strengths of Chokmah include initiative, devotion, study of stars, goal-orientated, and idealism, while weaknesses that can show up here are inefficiency, procrastination, envy, superstitiousness, and fear of the future. So those are the two Sephira. Now let's take a look at the path itself. As we can see, it goes across the Sephira. It runs, I'm sorry, not the Sephira, it runs across the tree of life, back and forth from one pillar to the next, and it crosses over even the central pillar. But it's not connected to the central pillar, it runs across the central pillar. The name of path 14 is the path of Daleth, which means door. Daleth is the pathway of dimension and is also sometimes seen as the path of humility and receptiveness. It relates with a door and embodies the concept of a shape and the idea of going through. A door is a gateway through a solid object like a wall. Esoterically, a door is a special kind of void, so to speak, that you can pass through from one state to another. This is a place on the tree of life where we now have dimension moving between states, where before we had only pure energy and its expansion. Daleth represents the nullification of the ego in the presence of the spirit and indicates how to return to the source. The Empress's journey through the tree of life represents bringing ideas and concepts into manifestation, nurturing them with care and attention, and allowing them to grow and flourish. She reminds us to embrace our creative potential and to bring our ideas and concepts into manifestation with care and attention. She also represents the balance between feminine and masculine energies and the importance of finding harmony between understanding and action. Path 14 is a path of great power because it unites primal male with primal female. The life path of new birth. This path is the doorway to giving birth to our dreams. It is also called illuminating intelligence and reveals the hidden talents and potentials we can give birth to. It shows divine potential. It also represents the ultimate joining of opposites. Strengths that can be achieved here are knowledge of birth, merging of imagination and reality, attractiveness, understanding of the feminine, joy, love, and reproduction. So, quite a lot to think about there, but creation is what this is all about. Now, when we walk along the pathway, as we've said, we have Chokmah and Binah on either side of the Empress. So let's get a little more information about what's going on this month by choosing a minor arcana card to put into each of the Sephira. So start again, once again, by shuffling them up. The minor arcana. Let's see what wants to play. What wants to play? Oopsie, oopsie. Yeah, my shuffling's not too good at the moment. Oops. Wow, that's very interesting. But since it jumped up, I'm going to take it. That's number 5. 5 of Swords. And that's going into Chokmah. Very interesting energies this month. Wonder what that's all about. Let's see. Let's see. What do we have in Binah? What do we have going on in Binah? Let's see. One card for Binah if we can. Or do I have to choose it energy? No. One card for Binah, please. There we have it. The 2 of Cups. Interesting. Very interesting because we have the aggression of the Five of Swords here in Chokmah, and the choice and duality of the Two of Cups in Binah. The fives are all at home in Gavura, which is the red Sephra underneath Binah, which is called strength and is ruled by Mars, while the twos are all part of Chokmah, interestingly enough. They all fall in Chokmah, which is, of course, as you already know, we've talked about, is the grey Sephra or silver Sephra at the top of the Pillar of Mercy. So let's just have a little think on this. What are these two cards telling us more about each of these Sephra? If we go by the guide that Marcus Katz and Tally Goodwin give for the Kapala Path method, on which I've based this reading, they say when for the Empress, it is about, the key to these two positions is about what is trying to be created or what is trying to be constructed. So that's one layer that we could perhaps look at this month as to what we might be wanting to create, what we're trying to create. And then with the Five of Swords being there, what is preventing that creation? What is holding us up? Is it ourselves? Is it someone else? What is the aggression about that? With the Two of Cups there, that would definitely indicate that this is about making a choice and working in harmony with someone, perhaps, or looking at the dualities of things. Another thing we might want to consider is which direction are we walking the path this month? If we look at the card, the Five of Swords, sometimes it's described as expecting argument or an examination of a defeat. And I have a keyword here for it of know your limits. Is that something we're looking at this month in our lives? Some of us might be. It could also be a no-win situation. Are we in a no-win situation and we need to move out of it? If we're moving from Chokmah to Binah, is it indicating that we're in a situation that needs to be changed? An interesting thought. The Two of Cups is, of course, it can be the creation of unity, it can be relationships and community, it can be a choice as well. Twos are always about choice. If we're moving from here into there, we could be moving from a situation which is not as we wanted into a situation where we might have more connection, we might have a truce, we might have attraction. Only you will know which way it is. Now, the other way is if you were going to be talking about moving the other way. If you're moving from Binah into Chokmah, it could be moving from somewhere that is in partnership to somewhere where there is conflict, where the partnership is in a disagreement or in competition. Or are we trying to win at all costs? I'm finding this one quite interesting. I'm going to have to think on this quite a bit for myself. I will add some more information into the blog like I usually do on suggestions on what these different pathways could be worked for. But I'll leave it with you and see what you feel about the energy of walking Daleth with the Five of Swords in Chokmah and the Two of Cups in Binah. I do like the fact that the Empress does have is ruled by Venus, so that to me makes me want to swing more towards the Two of Cups and partnership and love. And that partnership could be partnership with yourself as well. It doesn't always have to be with someone else. It could be with you and your soul. On the other hand, much as I don't like to look at it, one has to keep in mind the underlying energy that the Five of Swords brings. Now, it could also be, if you look at the Five of Swords card, which person in the picture does your eye go to? Are you the person with a smug look on their face? Are you the one crying in the background? Or are you walking away? As I say that, another thought comes to me is that there may be a situation that you need to walk away from this month and honor yourself, your own partnership with yourself. So I'm going to leave you with those ideas. And as I say, I do believe that this is going to be different in everybody's life. Let's round this out by choosing a couple of oracle cards and see whether that gives us any other ideas. Got the Wisdom of the Oracles here by Colburn Reed. Just see, oopsie. Okay, there's two that have popped up. One is co-create and the other is never-ending story. So what does that mean to you? It could almost fit in with what we have here. If we put that as co-create, then we put the never-ending story here, and we say that, yeah, that's where my mind goes. Where are you stuck? Where are you stuck in a conflict or in a battle of wills? And when will you let that go and move to what is more of an equable situation that you can co-create with someone? Even if that co-creation is, as I said before, between you and spirit, you and your higher self. I'm finding myself wanting to go for my own personal life in that direction. Letting go of the never-ending story and moving more into a place of co-creation with my higher self. But based on the information I've shared, you may well come up with something completely different. I'm also going to choose a couple of cards, or one card, to see what comes up from the Angels and Ancestors deck by Carl Gray. Let's see if anything else wants to give us a little more information. Let's just see, one more. Do anything? Okay, not going to come up that way easily. Let's Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. That might actually be a perfect message as far as moving, again, the way I'm thinking, moving from the 5 to the 2, stopping the never-ending story, transforming, changing yourself, and moving into co-creation. Let's just see, does the guidebook have anything extra to say on that? Shapeshifter. 74. The message here is take your time and focus on developing your gifts and strengths. The extended message says, you may have been through many challenges and lows, but now you are in a space of transformation. You are moving beyond your past challenges and honoring your current strengths. There are opportunities for you to discover and rediscover the gifts and talents that you were born with and born to share. All of your past experiences have only helped you see how strong you really are. You are an amazing soul who can change and transform in ways that people least expect. You have many talents that you will share in your lifetime. You are guided to stay focused on the light, knowing that it will guide you forward. When this card arrives, there's also an opportunity for you to tap into the power of your spirit animal. Note, if you are seeing a particular animal regularly, because its energy is coming to you. And one last thought as I reflect on this as well. If you are walking the path of Daleth, the Empress, from Binah back to Chokmah, so you're moving back towards that way, pay attention. Pay attention that you move forward in light and love. And that your intentions are of the highest. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. And I wish you all much joy and love and light and many blessings.